So I'm here with Mike and Joel. We're in Chicago, and we are updating Joel's headshot. And we've shot him on white. And what I'm trying to show Mike here is that it's easy to transition from one look to another without the client noticing. And by doing that, you're going to make a little bit of extra money because most of our packages include one picture. And if you create this scenario where they're forced to choose what they like best, then that's usually the best opportunity to add a little extra revenue. So whether you're doing $50 an extra shot or $100 an extra shot, it all adds up quickly. So one thing that I like to do is after we get the white shot, that's the one we get hired to do. We go over here, we just grab this black V flat, and I'm gonna quickly slide it over. And I like to just leave enough room so I'm still getting some bounce off the white so that I've got the kicker. Let me just pull it a little further. But the key here is have your stuff set up so that you're not dilly-dallying. Like shit just happens quickly. So on this shot, I like to shadow it a little bit further. So we're gonna pull that. I'm still getting the kicker. Chin's gonna come over a touch. Work that right eyebrow. There we go. Nose right just a little bit further. And I really want to get that shadow density, so I'm gonna push this up just a little bit. Get that a little closer. We might fill just a touch. All right. Your nose right. Think of something wildly inappropriate for me. That's nice. I like that. All right. So let me show you what's going on. So in a matter of minutes,
very cool. Look at that.
We're getting some good shots of this guy,
That's
and awesome. I haven't done anything. Like it wasn't a production, and I think that's the big thing. The other thing I don't do is I don't ask for permission. I just do it. I'd much rather ask. Look at that guy.
I like that subtle kick. How that's still there.
No, it's that kick is what adds the separation. The background's not completely black. I think all of those are important components to think about as you're doing this. So then I'm gonna pull this thing out. I'm gonna go back to white. So like now I'm sure that the shoot's in the bag.
So would you pull them out to look at the different background shots
I'm just gonna keep going.
And so that when they come over, they're like, wow, when did you do all these?
Exactly. So now I'm going to take this shot, and we're just gonna go vertical crop on it. I'm gonna go center of the frame so that I know how to frame this. And I'm gonna pop on my favorite black and white preset. And I'm just gonna get going again. So Joel, I'm gonna have you back up. And the reason I'm having him back up is to amp up the kicker. So we're just gonna bring this forward. And he doesn't really know what I'm doing except for futzing with the lights. So I want a little bit more contrast in the shot. I think it's gonna make it more interesting. And more contrast. So less fill. Bring this in just a touch closer. I don't mean to hit you, sir. All right, so as I'm adjusting this light, I'm gonna make sure that I come down a little bit because this is gonna be a little bit of a wider shot and we're going to show a little bit more of his body, and I don't wanna see the light completely fall off. I'm gonna appreciate having a little bit more continuity in the shot.
So the background you're using, you put him closer to it because the light's shooting through the background, so that's going to give him the nice wraparound kick.
Exactly. So this is cool. This is made by Last Light, and I've got a flex panel on the back of it, so I'm getting the constant light experience.
So you can get that clean white background shot without needing strobes.
Well, and the beauty is that I'm getting the kicker from it too. So by getting him closer to it, I'm getting more kick.
Still with the same 3-light setup.
Same setup. Now we got a little hot. So we got closer because I wanted the contrast. We're gonna have to back it down just a little bit. All right, so we're gonna go toes left, nose right. I'm gonna shoot straight on him for this one. Nose over just a touch. That's great. All right, nose right just a touch further. All right, a little bit more. And it's important at this point not to futz with this with the monitor too much. Once they realize that you're trying to sell them something, you're in trouble. So just look over, make sure you're in the ballpark so that your settings all come over properly. I might, yeah, that's cool. I might want to do a little bit less fill. So I'm just going to.
So because in Lightroom here you have the preset to apply any adjustments, so you just threw that black and white preset on, and it's automatically cropping it vertical without you having to change your camera.
Exactly.
Or anything.
So I did that here so that when I brought the client, or when I bring Joel back over here, and we'll do that. We'll show him what's going on. But I don't want to have to like do the apply all. I don't want to slow that process up.
Gotcha.
Because I don't want them to see how easy it is for me to do this.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, so we're gonna come back over here. I just moved that light a little bit further. I'm gonna add just a touch of clarity. Don't overdo your clarity. Clarity is definitely a taste thing. All right, that's awesome. So we're gonna come in just a touch. Maybe we'll even bring the blacks down a touch. Like move quick. You can always fix it later. All right, that's it. All right. How many kids do you have, Joel?
16.
16? Nose right just a little bit further. Which one's your favorite?
Third one.
All right, that's cool. All right, so that's awesome. We're just gonna keep moving because I don't want him to realize what's going on, and I'm just gonna come over. I'm gonna pull the lights back a little bit now because I'm gonna slide another backdrop in. Sir, can you step forward just a little bit?
And so just having these set up and nice close by, it's easy to swap them in and out.
Proximity is key. And know your gear, know your setups. This is not going to be a problem for you. So this one's going to be super similar. And I think if there's one tool that I want everyone to master, it's curves. If you understand how curves works, you can do a lot very quickly without relying on presets. All right, so we're going to take this preset off. Just go back to a standard. And we're going to go into curves. We're just going to grab the blues. I'll punch up just a little. So I'm bringing the bottom of the curve up, and that's doing a couple of things. One is that it's going to kind of matten out the black point, and it's going to bring blue into the shadows. And I'm going to add another point here so that it doesn't take it into the midtones, because your skin is in the midtones, and you don't really want it.
So you're just adding blue to just
The shadows. So you can see here, his shirt's going blue.
Yeah, very subtle.
There's a little bit of blue in the face, but we haven't gone weird. And I'll probably start right here and just take a shot and see what we got. And again, it's moving quickly and moving subtly.
You're doing this to just kind of give it a slight color tone with that painted backdrop.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to bring the nose to the right a little bit. We already know he's got a good side, so we're just going to take advantage of it. I'm going to peek over. We're going to see where we're at. I'm going to come over and make like I'm just futzing with the lights and making an adjustment, waiting for that to load so that I can glance over and kind of see how things look. It's already looking cool. I'm going to come over and say he looks a little magenta. So I'm just going to grab my tint, bring it over, and I like that better.
Is there any reason why you would use the white balance tint slider versus the curves?
It's faster. Like I can see that magenta is the problem, and I know that green is the answer.
So this is mainly just for client previews, and then when you actually go in and retouch, you're gonna do it probably a different way.
Exactly. And I'm gonna want to take that even a touch further back. We're gonna go nose to the right. Okay. So sometimes you got stay up a little straighter, man. There you go. Now force that face out. Actually, go straight at me. Let's play this up. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna make sure his collar isn't all curly. Perfect. Even back up a touch further, and I don't care that the lights in the shot that can be photoshopped out pretty easily. Now, one thing that I think is important is to recognize the size of your client and see if this is flattering. Like, I don't love how far down we're coming now. It's forcing the eye down here. So we're gonna come in just a little bit tighter. Other than that, I'm liking where this is going. We're getting a nice shadow on his cheek. I might like a little bit more of a, I might like a little bit more interest in the background, a little bit more shadow coming from left to right. So if that were my goal, I'm just going to take these and rotate. Because I'm not really using the fill all that much. So if I just taking this over here, turning it around.
Shooting the background at a little bit more of an angle so that the light falls off as it gradients across it.
Exactly. We're rolling. Step to your left, sir. That's better. I totally missed that shot. Now we just need to crank up some power. That's even cool, though. If I was in focus, there you go. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So that left light kind of hitting that background to brighten it up a little bit more.
Exactly. Brighten up the background. Wrap the light around his face. I think that's important, that the light's coming all the way around. All right. I'm just going to quick glance over. I'm still too hot. So rather than go back over to the camera or go back over to the lights, I'm just going to make a quick in-camera adjustment and fix it that way. So I went up to a shutter speed of 250. Lean back just a touch. Nose out. Chin left a little bit. Tilt the head a little bit towards the light for me. All right. All right, so the third child was your favorite, you said?
Yes.
And he or she?
She.
How was the conception?
Pretty spectacular.
Awesome. Nose right just a touch. Too far, too far. Bring the chin back. Great, great. All right, so come on, let me show you what's going on. Yeah. Come on. You did a great job. I appreciate it. All right, so what I've got for you is an awesome situation because you've got so many awesome pictures to choose from. I challenge you to pick a favorite, but come on over. Let's see what's going on. So we got a little dark here, but it's dark, it's moody, it's twisty. All right, so keep going. That's a better expression. I like that. All right, you look worried. Are you worried about something?
No, I'm good.
All right. Here we got a little bit brighter. But it's cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You did a great job. All right, so then we're to the end here, and now we get into the other stuff that you kicked ass at. Like, look at that. Do you like this one?
I do.
I'm gonna mark this one. All right. I like that too. No, that's better. I don't know which one's better.
I'm not sure.
I'm just gonna mark it. We'll figure it out later. All right. So then we had a few of these. Wow,
That's awesome. So
that's pretty good also.
within a matter of 5 minutes to be able to knock out 3 different.
All right, so let's look at what you liked. All right. And because I shot it this way, I can reframe it. But I think that having it in the having the ability to fix that crop later than as opposed to nailing it in camera and having to readjust your camera and all that stuff, I think that's important. We'll boost these shadows just a touch. Don't over boost your shadows. That's nice. So now the blacks are almost crushed, so I might even go back into this curve. Bring everything up at the bottom. All right, yeah, look at you there. All right, so here's my question for you. I know you came in for this one, and we got that. You did it, but which, like, do you want any of these other ones?
I'm really digging the bluer,
See that one?
like the canvas. I like that too.
You like this one better than that one?
I don't know. I kind of like both. Like them both.
All right. And what should we get rid of the black one?
Yeah, I think we can get rid of it.
You sure? Do you have a good shot of you on black?
No, I don't.
Well, let's see. Well, I think we'll keep it. All right. So here we are. So we are at. Oh, we forgot the one you came for. We can't forget the one that you hired me to shoot. All right. Where's it go? Where's that go? All right. So you hired me to shoot this one.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went and got you that one. Oh, that's awesome too.
Love that one. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you look like you could be in a magazine.
Definitely.
All right. So the one you came for, and that's 100, 200. It'll be an extra $300.
Awesome. For me.
For you.
Yeah.
What's cool here is that I didn't spend a whole lot of time doing this. We didn't get a whole lot of extra gear out. This is the same gear that I shot your headshot with. We didn't spend a whole lot of time futzing around with Lightroom. It really is knowing your gear, knowing your tools, and moving efficiently. And the key, I think, is creating a repeatable process. So if you get in the habit of doing this, then it'll be easier for you to do, and then you'll be able to sell more pictures and make a little bit more money. That's awesome. Can I put this on my website?
Totally. Even being in there didn't feel like you were doing this. Didn't feel like you were adding all these changes or messing around too much either.
And I think it's important that it doesn't to the client, because once they feel like you're doing shit, they tune out, or they start realizing that there's more money at play, and once that happens, you can quickly lose someone. Do you have any questions? Mike?
How does he pay?
So what's great about this project is that we've brought some awesome headshot crew people together. We have Elena, Tony, Shay, and Kent with us today, and they just watched the demo. They recorded the demo for us. So I want to know what they think. I'd love to hear some questions, guys.
So I do have a question. I would like to know how you would take it to the next step and how your lighting would change if you wanted to do more of like a waist up or a full body shot.
All right, so it's a great question, and one of the problems that I often see people kind of incorporate it into their work is that their modifiers are too small for a full body shot. So in this situation, I'd try to avoid a full body. I'd try to go half body. If I did go full body, I'd have to pull back, but I'm not afraid of photoshopping lights out of shots, and I think we're all on the same page there. But as long as you're getting light down to near the bottom, or at least like the bottom third, you can always push a little bit at the bottom in post, but it's the same thing. You just back the camera up or switch the lenses. I just try not to get too close to people with wide lenses because it's typically not flattering.
Hi, Michael. I get double Michael for the price of one, like right now with this monitor. So I was wondering, I mean, when you book a headshot client and you're talking about like adding these looks very easily and like as a way to upsell, do you try to do that for every client that you have in, or do you try to, I mean, maybe feel it out to see who it's most appropriate for?
It's a multi-level question. So the first thing is time. This is based on the assumption that I've gotten through what I needed in 45 minutes. If I didn't get there, then I wouldn't bother. Typically, I'm scheduling appointments on the hour, and my goal is to finish the shoot in 45 minutes so that I've got that final 15 minutes I can fill up with fun and try and make a little bit of extra money. It also depends on their look. Like, so I have a new hire program, and when my corporate clients come in like as a referral from their company, they get a discount rate. So those people just aren't primed to pay me. They haven't given me any money yet. It's not in their head that they have to pay for this. They're probably not going to be able to be upsold. The only time I would shoot those people this way is if I wanted it for my portfolio. Occasionally people come in, they've got their $2,000 custom suit, and they've just been to the barber and they look like $1 million. I'm not letting that guy out of my studio without getting something for the portfolio, because I think portfolio building is a huge part of what we need to be working on, and I do it every day myself. So if I get the impression that I might be able to sell them, I do it. If I want them in my portfolio, I do it. If they're not having a good time, I'm gonna get them out of the studio as fast as I can.
Thanks a lot.
On that note, would you ever get them to change clothing? Would you switch up the wardrobe as you're going through this quickly?
So with someone that came in with a suit and tie, I'd probably have them lose the tie. get that collar looking good. Those people typically don't come in with extra looks, but occasionally someone will come in and they'll be wearing a super cool like overcoat, and I can visualize how that's going to look. And like, this wouldn't be as cool if it was a suit and tie button-up shot. This shot does though. Like, this shot plays suit and tie whole 9 yards. This one is just a little bit more casual, and I think wardrobe's got to play into that. But I often look at what, especially in the winter, it's cold here in Chicago. People come in with a jacket that's got a vibe. I try and shoot it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Do you need any more space to shoot these portraits than what you use for the headshots?
No, it's the same gear. It's more or less the same position of the tripod. The light's only moved about 12 inches in the process of all of this. So I think that's the beauty of it. You've already got everything you need. You don't need to go out and buy anything, or you don't need a bigger space. If you can shoot a headshot, you can do this.
I have another question. So where are you suggesting that your clients place these images? And how would you suggest they use them?
I like to use phrases like, you look like you could be in a magazine. It plants seeds like, I might be in a magazine someday. And then they start thinking, well, this could be helpful to have. But I'll toss out, this is great for LinkedIn, but something like this might be a little bit more fun on Facebook. And just start to plant, you definitely plant seeds on the places that they're going to be used, because that sets off alarms in their head. And, oh, I do need that, or I could use that. Great question. Thanks everybody for your questions. Guys at home, if you have any questions, leave a message in the comments and we'll get back to you. I appreciate your watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing your work in the portrait track.